And we're back for game number 2 in this best of 3 showdown. We're in the thick of it now, folks. This is your Dota 2 Asia Championship 2015 European Qualifier coverage brought to you by Beyond the Summit. As always, I am still LD, and I am still joined here by Dakota, or Coddle Guy, as many of you know him.
Yep, I'm still here. I'm still giving mana, by the way, so...
If anybody wants a little pick-me-up, you know?
Hit me up. Hit me up. I got the good stuff over here for you. But no, here we go. Back underway. Game number 2. Game number 1, we question Empire. You kind of question the draft, if that was their play style, if that's really what they wanted to bring to the table for game number 1. Na'Vi sure as hell feeling pretty good. This is now a 3-game win streak for them, and I don't know the last time we saw Na'Vi on a win streak like that, so they got to be feeling pretty warmed up and ready. Empire, this is a start to a draft that we normally see from them. Getting the Tidehunter and especially that Rubik. Now, Tidehunter, they found great success with. They're still undefeated in 6.83 with them. They are 5-0 with the yoky Tidehunter. I've seen them win games with a 0-13 yoky Tidehunter. They just seem to know how to get the stuff done. And then Rubik, it's AlohaDance's Rubik is absolutely phenomenal. You know, last game he was on the Undying. It just felt like he couldn't really do what he likes to do. Roam around, get great setups. He finds always great steals with the hero, so I'm not really surprised to see him go for it here. Na'Vi, they get Vengeful Sphere because, well, Vanskor does a fantastic job being that safety net like we saw last game. And, of course, Dazzle. You know, Dazzle seems to be everyone else's Omni Knight, whereas something like the North American region, they go for Omni Knight. For everyone else, it's more about the Dazzle for those kind of sustainabilities. And I was going to say that maybe they consider following this through with something like a Lycan, but they already banned it about. But overall, great start from both teams. I'm really curious to see what we're going to see as far as where they take it from here. It's funny to note, Havos in between games did put up a tweet, and something, of course I don't know what the hell he's saying, but he was toying with something about Queen of Pain. I would love to see a Dendi Queen of Pain. I hope that's the case.
Oh, I just opened it. It's got some weird,
like,
some weird music as well.
Yeah, it's like a dancing Queen of Pain with some crazy music. I hope that means we
I'll
get a
put
Queen
it
of
on
Pain.
during the break after this game, whether they win or lose. But yeah, I like this draft. Just suits Empire better. I like it a lot more. The Tide Rubik. Now, experimenting is fine, but this is not the tournament to mess around in. This is a mini international, likely to be several $1 million in prize pool. Already the prize pool has exceeded that of TI2. It's now well over $1.6 million and continuing to rise, so you want to get to the LAN event, even if it's just as a wildcard team, even if you just go for the experience. And really, these players are competitors. They've been to TIs before. They're not going to be happy unless they get into the big event and place well. So they go back to the basics here for Empire, and I think it's the time to do it. Na'Vi will remove a Naga. Hero that has not been getting much play recently, Dakota, at least for us. We have cast a lot of CIS Dota over the past few days, and I don't think you and I have personally cast a single Naga game, but this hero is getting a lot of play right now in Asia, so something to, Sylar's been running occasionally, and I don't know, just, you ran it earlier today, just a go-to staple, we need a win, let's pick Naga kind of hero.
Call me a nerd, LD, but I actually remember we did cast a Naga game together. It was our very first cast together, way back during the NA Hub, maybe, when I got to actually do my first... I'm serious. Like, the first time I got to cast inside the BTS studio with you, it was a Naga game, and I remember the opposing team got a Coddle as well. I'm like, oh, all right. My first game here with you, and it's a Coddle game. I'm like, this can work. Coddle's great anti-push and being able to add pressure, and of course can wipe out this. And sure enough, the Coddle won and beat out the Naga. But it's funny because I actually remember that just because it was my first BTS studio cast with you. So call me a dork, but I just happen to remember that.
Well, you got me there. You got me.
Technically, you don't remember anything I do with you. It's fine.
Yeah, you're not very important to me, actually. No. I was not dating back to the NA Hub, man. That's several versions back in a galaxy far, far away. But in this galaxy, it's the Empire Storm Spirit coming out now. So oftentimes a staple pick for Resolution. There was a period where they were running Storm almost every game. Storm, Doom. This was like back in February of this year when EG was still the sad boys and kind of staking their claim. Empire and EG were the two teams that I expected to go to really impress leading into TI. They did, but then Empire fell off pretty hard heading into the main event. So they go for the Storm now. We'll see if they want to combo it with that Doom pick. They already have their offlaner, so if they ran the Doom, it would be for Silent. But yeah, they used to like to run the Storm Doom silencer. You just global, and you're guaranteed to get 2-3 kills during the global once you get late enough in the game.
Yeah, Storm Spirit seems to be right back in the mix. This is across at least all of the regions as far as I've seen, like back to like Sumail. He made one of his first signature performances was on a Storm Spirit, being very flashy with that. After that, I saw Pycat when his first game back with Alliance, after he did have to step out for the first two, had a fantastic Storm Spirit game. And now Storm Spirit can be picked up here. Resolution, we know he has a great Storm Spirit. So, and Storm Spirit overall is just such a crowd pleaser. He's so fun to watch, so I'm looking forward to that. Na'Vi now pick up Invoker, I imagine, for Dendi, of course. They have great success with Invoker in 6.3. You know, it's a simple 2-0, but hey, you know, if they got a good thing going, why not? And another crowd pleaser in his own right. So maybe feeling confident with the Invoker Storm Spirit matchup in mid lane, I suppose, but overall, solid grab. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, Storm Spirit sitting on a not-so-pretty 38% win rate in this patch, but I think he's one of those heroes where the stats can be a bit misleading because, first of all, exceptional Storm Spirit players, it's a very high skill cap hero, so they can get a lot more mileage out of him. And the other thing is, you have to be able to play around the hero really well and draft in such a way that he'll shine. And looking at the draft right now for Na'Vi, how well do they deal with Storm? They have defensive swap and Grave, which are pretty good when he jumps someone, but he's probably going to be going for the Dazzle most of the time. You don't go for the Dazzle, you just Graves over, you jump, and it gets hard from there. Cold Snap can be a little frustrating to leap into. At some point he gets a BKB, and Na'Vi have no answers for that right now. So I think it could be a really good Storm game. They don't have like that global silence or Skyrat silence, which we saw yesterday, Skyrat shutting down a Storm. Nothing quite that good against him in the early game, and later on, the main tool for dealing with them would be an Invoker Hex, but that's a big item to farm, and presumably if you're Storm by that point, you're looking to have your BKB ready. So I like the Storm pick this game.
Yeah, and we'll see. They now move forward. They get the PA there for Silent to round out their late game, so all they need left is support to just kind of solidify their start. And, I know it's not their next pick, but I wouldn't mind seeing an Ogre to kind of round out Empire's draft as a secondary support. They need someone to be able to bodyguard the ruins, plus his Bloodlust certainly helps out someone like PA, so that would be a good grab for them to consider, or at least a good ban that Na'Vi should consider. So back to Na'Vi's way, though. We got a good couple of supports, and of course the potential Dendi hero. We need to get Funnick and Havos underway here. For off-lane position with Tidehunter already grabbed, it's been quite a long time since I've seen that Batrider Funnick. Why don't we get to see Batrider much anymore, LD? I feel like he was such a great hero for so long with great lockdown capabilities. I wouldn't mind seeing him again. Why haven't we seen him, LD?
I don't know. He's doing really well in the patch. He's got a 61% win rate, 35 and 22. The hero still feels really strong. You know who was running him a lot was IX Mike. He's running a lot for Fire in the NA qualifier. We saw the Bone 7 bad, but yeah, in the Europe matches, he just has not been a go-to pick. It's actually Na'Vi who will grab the Doom, and this I like a lot. I was talking about not having the best solutions for Storm. Now they have the best solution, along with maybe Global Silence, but of course BKB can somewhat address that. Doom also good versus Tide. The main thing with the Doom is always like, will they be able to punish the fact that you have a Doom early? Like, can they push his lane really hard? Can they force him to come to big 5v5 fights where Doom isn't nearly as threatening as it will be later on in the game when he's more farm? I don't think Empire's particularly adept at that, so I think this Doom will have some time to come online, and it could be a very good pick.
Look who they banned at the end. Just want to give myself props. They did notice that Ogre would have been a good pickup. They get rid of that one. But oh my goodness, we actually do get to see an Omni Knight picked up outside of the North American realm, at least in recent times that I've gotten to witness. He's always first pin, first bag, whether it's any, you know, if it was the Summit Quals, if it was the DAC, if it was NEL. They just, I don't know why, but we get to see Empire now take control of it. So it definitely works for them. Plus, it gets to be that free BKB early on for PA. So it's certainly is going to be good in this kind of a lineup. And I can't help but feel like Empire should have expected that Doom would have been something that Na'Vi could have gone for. They banned out Funnick's Faceless Void, which after seeing how well he did with it last game, I'm not really surprised, but I can't help but feel like since they picked Storm third and the offlane was still an option for Na'Vi, that Doom could have been something that was grabbed.
The ban is a bit scary because you have Rubik, and Rubik is awesome against Mag. Not to mention they counter-initiate from Tidehunter, so I think the Void ban is warranted, but I would agree. I'm not sure about the mag ban from Empire. Either way, too late now, as Na'Vi select their final hero. It's the Havost Slardar. So a lot of minus armor now. You've got Amp Damage, Wave of Terror, Dazzle Ulti, Forge Spirits. Who needs actual hard carry agility right click when you've got this minus armor strat?
That's ridiculous.
Anyone who gets caught is just gonna get destroyed, except maybe PA if she's lucky with evasion. But you've got the Ag's Doom and a Hexon Invoker later on to deal with that, so oh boy.
You don't even really have anyone that can add armor. None of these heroes really go for like an AC or anything like that, so they're going to be made of paper if they're not careful. That's very, very scary. And
Storm jumps in, he gets stunned once, he will die with the amp on him in like 2 or 3 auto attacks. That's just how squishy he'll be. That's good news is they have Repel, and Na'Vi don't have a direct purge for it, but they have Doom. So even then, it's not a get out of jail free card. We'll see how well this Storm Omni Knight combo works. On paper, it's very strong for initiating. With that said, Dakota, we get underway. It's game number 2 of this best of 3. Empire on the dire side, trailing to most people the favorites. They had the 70% advantage on Dota 2 Lounge in terms of bets. As well they should have. I think that was a fair margin based on past recent matchups, but, well, they're the ones trailing, and they'll have to bounce back. Always want to fly on his go-to Rubik for a big potential elimination match. Wouldn't have him on anything else. Resolution, the Phantom Assassin with the early Poor Man Shield picked up. Silent handling your Storm. AlohaDance will be on the Omni Knight, and that leaves Yoky playing the Tidehunter. So this time around, they don't throw AlohaDance onto the Rubik. They'll give it to Always Want to Fly, but both of them play a really mean Rubik.
And on Radiant, none other than one of the most famous names in Dota, whether doing good or bad, it's going to be Na'Vi. Funnick going to be playing your offlane Doom here. He could end up crossing paths here with Silent. They're just going to do a bit of flirting as they know they want to dominate this top rune for Resolution. It's important that he's opting to go for the, oh, here we go, walk-in stun from Havost. Already an early heal from Goblak. This is some serious flirting right here. This is how much they favor getting this early bounty rune. Remember, 100 gold, 100 XP. The other side, they're also dancing around with it. So Vanskor looks like he's going to be able to secure that one for Na'Vi. And on the other side, Empire are going to be able to allow Resolution. It's just so funny to see that because mid laners, obviously, it was all about the block. But nowadays, some of them consider the bounty rune to be a bit more important than having a strong blocking phase. But anyways, let's get back to the introductions. It's actually going to be mid lane Havost on the Slardar side by side with Goblak, their captain, on the Dazzle at least for now. Nearby, Funnick still of course on that Doom in the jungle. He's actually not going to be in the off lane at the start. Vanskor is going to be playing your support Vengeful Spirit, and Dendi in the safe lane Invoker. And also worthy to note, Slardar hero we see a bit here and there, maybe on your like Team Leviathan and such, but he did receive some nice buffs in this recent patch. Amp damage has got a much lower cooldown at only 5 seconds. His sprint cooldown was also reduced, so you got to remember, now he can probably sprint from the fountain to the lane, and by the time he gets there, it's already off cooldown. So it's almost like a free quick trip to the lane.
Kind of like
very nice.
Kind of like Spirit Breaker charge, where you just can use it to move yourself around the map freely. That's a good point. And well, for Na'Vi, my big question was, will Dendi go Qualifier or Exhort this game? He does go for the early point Exhort, so probable Midas at some stage coming out for him, and they'll play him more as a true carry this time around. EMP Tornado would be really good this game. Obviously, the Tornado EMP combo won't help you too much against the Repel, but you can only repel one hero. A lot of heroes with fairly low mana pools. EMP owns Storm if you ever manage to get it on him. He can try and dodge it, but I wouldn't have minded the Quaswix build either. They already have a lot of...
Top lane, they're making it go into Goblak with Telekinesis, and the burst coming through, they get it done. It's Silent on that Storm Spirit, who is going to strike first for Empire. So nicely done up there, taking advantage of Goblak, who's just out a little too far. Maybe Na'Vi feeling like they have to have someone to occupy the off lane, but if it's going to be a Dazzle, you're not going to have a good time. So good work right there from Empire to capitalize on that one.
Yeah, good news for Na'Vi here in the safe lane is they're running the 2 ranged heroes, so Tidehunter just getting constantly bullied, already chewing through all his tangos. He's gone for the double Rain of Protection for the additional insurance against right-click harass, but that's okay, we'll just right-click you a few extra times is the thought process here for Na'Vi is they'll collect a bounty rune bottom. Looks like Vanskor will get another one. Very fast level 3 on the back of these bounty runes.
Yeah, right? Thank you very much, Ice Rock, for the new bounty runes,
the
especially
bounty
for a support
lord.
player. Yeah.
I think this death for Goblak, not the biggest deal in the world. You do give it to a hero that wants to snowball in the form of that Storm Spirit, but they're running the Jungle Doom, so they're making up for the golden experience elsewhere and still doing pretty well in the mid lane. Havos left alone on the Slardar, sitting at 13-1, slightly behind on CS to Resolution. Not really a matchup where he can dominate, but they're trading farm evenly there. They're winning in terms of farm in the safe lane. They're getting free jungle farm on Doom, and Dazzle is getting his levels. Extremely level-dependent support. If he dies 2-3 times, then you've got a problem, but the one death, I think it's an acceptable loss.
Let's talk a bit about this mid lane matchup, because seeing Havos in the mid lane already is kind of, you know, a bit outside the norm for the Na'Vi lineup, but he's also playing the Slardar and going against the Phantom Assassin, this dual melee kind of a matchup where he can freely throw out the stun and secure some extra CS. He is falling behind just a hair. It's Resolution ahead 19-3 to Havos 17-2, but it's Slardar against the PA. How is this supposed to work out, or is it supposed to be kind of a wash?
I think I haven't seen the matchup before in a pro match, but...
Oh, bottom, sorry, LD, they're going to make it go on Yoky. The heal is there. He barely lives for now, plus the repel. It looks like he's going to walk away with this one, and alwayswannafly rotates in beautifully onto Dendi, gets a nice telekinesis, and Empire feeling a bit more on point in this game. They already secure another one. Whether it's top lane or bottom, they're finding the early kills.
It's the Rubik, man. The Rubik involved in both kills here. Alwayswannafly making things happen. This is why Empire valued the hero, and I like the fact they've gone back to it, but having not seen the matchup too much, generally PA, you can't stop the hero from farming because of the dagger, even if you have a vastly superior lane. Still get some CS. Again onto Dendi, gets tossed up, drop back down once more, and of course Exhort, not much he can do, but gets the Sunstrike. Not enough damage for the kill. Vanskor also bullied off the lane. This Rubik pick making things happen around the map. 3 kills set up by alwayswannafly.
Look at him sprint around. That is such a hilarious hasted animation for a Rubik. Anyways, yeah, it's clearly the Empire way. This is how they want to play, and that is back-to-back takedowns on Dendi's Invoker, and now he has to do that long walk of shame back to base, just like that college frat girl has to do. Ugh, that's disturbing.
Eee. Just gives you that icky feeling.
Holding your high heels in your hand like,
well,
don't see me.
Hopefully nobody remembers last night. Someone always does. But yeah, Resolution is here with the dagger, level 3 now. The matchup PA should farm well. You don't really expect Slardar to dominate. He should stay relatively even in CS, but Resolution is guaranteed CS, whereas Havos has to fight for everyone with auto attacks. He can crush here or there, but top lane onto Goblak again they'll go. Bench has arrived. Grave is skilled, but just cannot get it off in time. They end up chain stunning and just focusing him down. Nicely done. Another death for the Dazzle. That's 4-0 for Empire. And on top of that, they're CSing extremely well in the PA and the Storm. The offlane Tide getting some kills going his way. So you gotta say Empire at least winning 2 lanes and breaking even in another.
Yeah, and it should be their kind of early game. Na'Vi, obviously, they're supposed to bloom and develop a bit more so they can have that minus armor synergy. They can have that Doom at the ready, the safety of the swap, and of course, Na'Vi, or Dendi rather, needs those levels so he can really utilize his Invoker to its true potential. So it is going to be a bit of time before Na'Vi's line can come in online. Top lane, though, alwayswannafly going to snag up that regen rune. He's trying to walk away from this one, but Vanskor catches him off with a nice magic missile, and they're going to look to cut him off at the pass with that stun. It's going to be Goblak who does pick up the kill there, and Na'Vi finally get themselves on the board.
You already can see how squishy they are. All of that damage was just with the Wave of Terror there. They didn't even get the amp damage off until the last auto attack, but imagine if the amp damage is there from the start. Heroes are going to melt if they get caught, and I think for now...
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
AlohaDance is catching out
Oh,
Funnick
no!
doing the jungle
Run,
because he
Funnick!
went to do this super aggressive ward. He happens to cross pass with Funnick.
Oh no, now he might end up dying.
Now he's gone too far. He was hoping to get close enough to get off the heal bomb, but now he's in trouble. Forced to pull out the self-repel. He's going to try to walk away.
There's no TP scroll.
There's nowhere to go. No one nearby. Finally, Resolution's like, maybe I can help with a long-range dagger, buddy. I'm sorry. Oh, the Holy One does drop all this for a covert mission to get this ward down.
It was one of those, like, it seems too good to be true. Ooh, I'm gonna drop a super aggressive ward, and I get a free Doom kill? This is my lucky day. And then he keeps on chasing, and it just all goes wrong.
Plus he dies, now they know, hey, I think he planted a ward over there. Why the hell is he so deep? So they ping it out. There'll be a sentry coming.
See, they already dropped the one sentry. That was so deep that Na'Vi just don't even expect it. Bottom lane, though, Dendi dove out. They'll chase him down. They get the kill again. TP canceled immediately. The poor Invoker just getting destroyed this game. Dendi 0-3. And this is one of the reasons why we don't often see Invoker getting a safe lane unless he's protected. Just so easy to chase and dive the hero. Has no real escape mechanism. At this point of the game, you just can't be going for Wex. It just shuts you down too much in terms of actually having an impact. So no Ghost Walk, and Empire just able to crush him repeatedly. Now,
like Dendi's done with it too. He's heading towards mid.
He's going Midas, so he'll be able to catch up at some point, but it's really going to delay his impact in this game.
Certainly so. And top lane, Silent is just having the time of his life. He's top net worth, top CS, and for a Storm Spirit, that's a bit scary. He's going to be able to ball out of control. Havosa
Not again. Death number 4. Death number 4.
No.
Here we go.
No, nowhere is safe for them. You can't even do neutral, sir. They get him again. Oh my God, this is where you're raid. If this is a pub and that's me, I'm upset right now.
This is where Eternal Envy goes to the fountain in his pubs.
Oh my goodness. But hey, it doesn't stop here. Resolution getting caught with the stun on Havosa while they turn their attention onto Funnick, but there is going to be a Blink Strike. Resolution's fine. A separation there with the stun coming out from Vanskor will create some space. Na'Vi will walk away without losing anyone else, but the damage has already been done. Empire gave another great pick, and they're working with just 4 as Silent continues to farm up.
Orchid is going to be very fast this game.
Yes. Scary. Very scary for Na'Vi, and they're going to need a lot more time because Empire, they're going to be matching up with them very well, especially if they got all this early benefit. I mean, AlohaDance's Omni Knight is getting pretty close to 6, so when they do try to make these big dives and try to go for those pick plays, you got to remember, GA is always going to be there for Empire, and that could prove to be troublesome. And who's going to be getting the defusal on Na'Vi? No one.
I don't see them getting a defusal blade. If they do, it'll either be a support or it'll be much later on one of the melee heroes, but yeah, you're going to have to find other ways to deal with the repelled hero. Probably
you know what? Yeah, Doom getting the purge of the creep. It's such a low cooldown, and you could do it pretty freely. I can't remember who I saw doing it, but it worked out so well.
That's true. Okay, yeah, maybe we do see that. Havosa's going to come in bottom lane. Going on to AlohaDances. They'll bring in the reinforcements here. He repels and has no TP again, AlohaDance. No repel TP out available. Now will GA. The Lampman just keep on running. Buys the TP. Scroll goes for the TP out. Venge stun catches him. Oh, that hurts. GA down. They have Ravage for yoky, but he just doesn't have follow-up. And neither team looking to use their big ults much early. No Ravages yet. No Dooms. We just haven't seen those big aggressive plays. The skirmish mid, Tide had stick charges for Ravage, but just opts not to use it.
Silent's got DD, and he might be scouting out Funnick here. He's going to wait to see if he shows himself in the lane, or maybe someone pops out in the mid. But for now, he's going to stalk here, waiting and baiting. Funnick knows, though.
Yeah, they got that rune top, so Silent, just some ways to time. He'll TP bottom instead. There's also a Radiant Observer Ward here, so if he walks into the tree line, he will be spotted out again. For now, they don't have the vision. Oh, no, he's poked his little head out, so now they know. Silent with a lot of wasted time. These Na'Vi wards do. Well, maybe not. Maybe he gets the kill anyway on Goblak. No, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, that was very, very well done. Silent's like, okay, Funnick clearly knows I'm coming because he just disappears out of the lane. So I'll TP to the bottom. Maybe they don't know I'm there, and well, they do have a ward there as well. So fortunately, he's not going to get that easy pickoff like he wanted. Great wardage, I guess you'd have to say, for Na'Vi, so they could scout out rotations like that. You could tell that Silent's like, I got lots of farm time. I'm ready to get some kills under my belt.
By the way, they did finally get that Observer Ward this century, about a minute and a half ago or so. They at long last deward it. Dendi will go back to try to farm his Midas. The sad Invoker, level 6 at 11 minutes, no Midas. Technically it was in the safe lane, but that was anything but. That was the danger zone. Dendi paid the price. They make this go on. Always want to fly top lane. Now with the Doom, chasing it will be a Vos. Creeps are going to block him. No, never mind. They don't cooperate whatsoever. Sunstrike's here, and I think they wanted Dendi to get that last hit, but unfortunately does not.
It's okay. If you have to have anyone else get the kill, I'm sure Havost is fine. So he'll be able to pick up a little bit more for his slaughter, because with Dendi not having such a successful early game, it does feel like it could be more pressure on Havost to be able to perform as the game does progress. He's going to look to build up here. Once he gets that amp damage to level 2, then things could be a bit more devastating for him. But like I said, then Empire could look to move as a 5-man hit squad, and they have a lot of teamfight impact, especially with Omni Knight always being there, and plus the Ravage. So we'll have to see. Plus, Resolution's been farming relatively well. It looks like he is going to go down the road of picking up the Perseverance and now moving into a Battle Fury for more accelerated farm. So maybe Empire feeling confident about the late game as well here, but we'll see. Lots of people dancing around this mid lane, something to potentially break out.
Tidehunter Blink Dagger now online. No Orchid just yet, but Silent continuing to farm the enemy jungle with the Soul Rain bottle build. The nice thing is, you basically never have to go well unless you don't get any runes, so he could just stay parked in the enemy woods, constantly searching for pickoffs, and you can see the effect it has on Na'Vi. They're forced to sit back, they're always a bit nervous, scouting him out with the Wave of Terror now. Whereas Empire are freely farming around the map, and now they make their way towards bottom. For me, I feel like a big question that will kind of decide the direction this game takes for Na'Vi is what sort of build does Havos go for? It looks like he's saving for Blink Dagger. The other main options for Slaughter, you can rush a Vanguard, you can rush a BKB. Those are generally the 3 builds we'll see.
Sometimes an Armlet maybe.
Yeah,
depending.
it's a tough game to play without a BKB. So he definitely needs one, but there's you get the Vanguard or BKB, you're looking to take a lot of just larger scale skirmishes, team fights, you want to be in the front line. You get the Blink Dagger, you want to find pickoffs with Sunstrike. So I think that'll be the plan here for Na'Vi. They have the Doom as well, and Midas is now complete on Funix, so with the double Midas Invoker Doom, Na'Vi may feel confident in their own late game, but if it goes late, I don't know who has the edge, honestly. Empire very strong there with double Ravage, Repel, Omni Knight Ultimate. You can't purge everyone even if you do have a purge or two, and Rubik to potentially steal Doom, Venge Swap, all sorts of big spells. And Na'Vi with the double Doom potential, it really could go either way late game, so it's interesting to see the teams and how they're going to look to approach it as the game moves forward.
Look at this, always want to fly, dewarding from the low ground, gets rid of that bit of extra vision, so now Na'Vi feeling a bit more restricted in the dark, especially around this mid lane area. But yeah, I have to agree, the late game is definitely going to be determined by how this mid game is going to be going, because we have yet to see the Blink and Ravage coming out from Empire as well, so while Na'Vi are thinking that maybe we can get Blink and stuns, Sunstrikes, Empire is a team that also has a big mid game, and they're going to make a go into both here at the top. There's your Gush, there's your pool, might not even need this Ravage, doesn't really have much mana for it anyways, but they get Havos, easy peasy, lemon squeezy.
He needs to be farming aggressively so that the rest of the team has a little bit of space, and it does take pressure off of Dendi. Still, that was a pretty ballsy play by Havos. They had already showed themselves top lane, Storm Remnant scouted them out, the Doom out, and he starts backing off. Doom was already leaving the lane. Havos was probably going to back after that creep, but that was one creep too far. Punished by Empire, gets your Storm even closer to the Orchid. We've seen some very slow Storm Orchids lately, but this will be a quick one. Sub 20 minutes and probably around that 18-minute mark. Well, actually even sooner. 16, 17 minutes, he'll have it. And again, public enemy number 1 is going to be Goblak on the Dazzle, but there's other heroes he can solo kill. He'll be able to solo kill Dendi pretty easily. Venge may need a +1 as she's got fairly high armor, but even if he can't solo kill everyone, he'll with a +1 of a PA or anyone else, he'll get the kill. Yeah. Gonna be a scary time coming up now for Na'Vi. With the Blink on the Tide, the Orchid on the Storm, they really can't be off on their own. If they are, Storm, the perfect hero to punish it.
Yeah, and you can tell Na'Vi are going to be playing very defensive, not just by, you know, how it just is laid out, but just by their body language. I was going to say they always have someone now probably by the side of Havos, but he's still up here in the top lane, still on his own. They have the Dazzle and Vengeful Spirit. Both can be pretty defensive as far as supports. They're both kind of working side by side to find their own bits of farm to catch up, but they're going to need them to always be there and at the ready in case those jumps do come in, especially from someone like a Storm Spirit. The jumps are just inevitable, so Funix also looking to find his farm. Would love to be able to level up this Doom a bit further, catching up with that Midas. Same with Dendi, trying to really buckle down and prepare for a late game because the early game was rough. Mid game might not go much better. And here's AlohaDance. He's got the haste rune. I was thinking that maybe he would scout out, but it looks like they're going to just kind of play a bit more reserved here. Yet to see that Blinkin' Ravage. Well, I say that, now they smoke up, and they're going to go right towards enemy territory, maybe even swing around towards this mid lane.
They have no idea this is coming. Didn't see the smoke, and they're going to make their move on to Dendi. Orchid revealed. Quick, easy kill. Death number, is that 5? Yeah, number 5 for Dendi. The struggle continues, and Yoky looks to make it a bit more. He's got Blink Ravage online. Na'Vi in an awkward position is Goblak, rather, on the Dazzle. He gets blown up. No chance of a defensive swap, and that's the thing, is with the Orchid on Storm and the PA Battle Fury, they just get these kills before Na'Vi can even react. Level 1 swap, it won't be level 2 for a long time, and as Vanskor swaps AlohaDance in, he's rudely met with a PA crit to your face. Kill secured for resolution, and with this tier 1 falling mid, the way to Roshan gonna lie open for Empire. PA able to tank it. They've got the heals to throw on her. It won't be a particularly quick Roche, but it will be a very tough one for Navi to contest with Ravage ready.
Very apparent there with that swap. They were hoping that Havos was going to blink in from the high ground and get an easy stun set up and kill, but it's a good thing, I guess, Havos kind of waited a bit to see if it was safe, so he doesn't make the jump in. He would have been blown up just as quickly as well, because
they had Ravage,
yeah.
They would have just destroyed him.
So, not going to be the case. They get another good kill. Dendi goes down again. Very rough. Funnick, fortunately, does get his Blink Dagger, but all this while, Empire just kind of know they have the advantage. They know they could take a team fight. They got a Ravage, so they just move on into the Roach Pit. They're going to duke it out with the big one. This is going to be a free Aegis. Uh-oh, Resolution
Sunstrike?
They get the kill because he eats so much damage from Roach plus the Sunstrike against Dendi. Finally gets something back for himself. His first kill right there, but they do end up losing out on the Roshan regardless.
That's like a hole-in-one shot at a golf course. My goodness. Beyond the eagle. What a shot by Dendi.
Calculated, I guess.
Yeah, you can't make these things up. Still though, they get Aegis. Silent probably the better Aegis carry than PA anyway. It just uses the mana a lot more, and a hero that is not a one-shot wonder, whereas PA with BKB, that's pretty much it. Silent though, gonna get the jump on Dendi, gets the Orchid off, they defensive swap immediately. Now the swap stolen out by Alwayswannafly. He'll have that to work with as this fight may move along. Doom deployed mid, onto yoky. Alwayswannafly gotta swap the Slardar who was surging it backwards, and this resolution leap forward. At the same time, on the other end of the engagement, Vanskor kept alive for now by the Omni ult, but he'll be dead to the dagger, and Silent begins to get a bit out of control. They isolate Dendi, looking to bring him down. Havos went real deep for the Rubik, killed Dendi with the Sunstrike, wind his way through the trees, has a point in Quas, or rather Wex, but won't be able to Ghost Wall because Invoke was cooling down. So yeah, the only victory there for Havos is he did run down your Rubik, way behind the tier 1, but small consolation as Empire hold on to their Aegis and look for the tier 2.
Look for the tier 2. Mind you, yoky was doomed that whole fight, so he didn't even get a Ravage off. Now level 2. Blink, we have yet to see it even unleashed here. So considering how the struggling team fights are going for Navi without that being even involved, just kind of shows how dominating Empire are this game. They continue to just take objective after objective, also after coming on top of these big team fights. Alwayswannafly, though, could be in trouble here. There's going to be your blink in and the stun also, and it is going to be a slaughter, or a slaughter. A slaughter?
A slurred.
A slaughter.
A slurred.
Slardar slaughtering Rubik. I think that's what I wanted to go for there.
You like to make things hard on yourself, huh?
I know, it's terrible.
Well, nice pickoff there. Navi just need to keep on finding those. Find Sunstrike pickoffs with the Blink Dagger on Slardar, with the Doom. The large-scale team fights simply are not going to favor them unless they start the fight 5v4 or 5v3, something like that. It's just too difficult to fight through the Ravage. Force Staff now online on yoky. Rubik with their complete arcane boots. Going to work towards this Blink Dagger. Your Omni Knight for AlohaDance. We'll see what his next choice is here. We have seen the Aghanim's rush on a few Omni Knights, but I don't know if this is really the game for it. There's not much split push from Navi. Uh-oh, Storm jumping in, he's gonna look for the solo kill to Boast, and Silent continues to just swing circles around, bringing him down with the double damage rune. The snowball commences, and meanwhile on the top, onto Funnick, Coco, Resolution gets Doom. Doesn't really seem to care too much. Alright, now he cares. The TP's come in, Sunstrike gonna be there. It's another connection from Dendi. The chase is on, but the heals from the Omni Knight, slowing him down, as well as that Degener. Can he get the kill in the meantime? Dendi will get run down, still Funnick chasing. Now the turn comes, he's overextended, he'll be shredded, and Goblak might well be next. They did use the Ravage to help secure that kill. Goblak graved and chased out. The stolen Forge Spirit's in pursuit. He's gonna get zapped in 3 seconds. Gosh, sooner they get the kill that way. 4 dead. Empire looking to force that deciding game number 3.
Yeah, it just took too long for Navi to get what they wanted out of that one with a quick rotation in, but you got to give props to someone like Omni Knight to help with that bit of sustained resolutions, able to live through that Doom because of the heal, and they're just fine. And because of the overextension, the fight is just a little too chaotic there for Navi. Empire are allowed to interject, and we get to see yoky's Ravage. Yoky does eat the stun, but it's just a little bit of a harassment right there from Havos, but it looks like it's going to be another good kill, good team fight, follow through with a good objective on the takedown of this tier 2. So Empire playing a flawless game. They don't get the deny either. Swap back though, however, on the Rubik, they might just have to sacrifice him. Even though he is coming in with the heal, AlohaDance, you might be in trouble now. Oh, nice. Self-propel, TP out. Is there enough damage? There's not, so he does make his way out.
No bash. Havos definitely not a bash lord. He's on the chase now. Looking for resolution, perhaps. Not gonna find the opening there. Well, still Silent, AFK farming up to 4.3k gold. Does he even look towards straight, maybe a Bloodstone here, Hex? Generally would see the BKB next, but he's jumping in. I'll worry about items another day. For now, it's the Havos kill he wants, and it's the Havos kill he shall get. Out of control. Silent, indeed it will be. The Bloodstone on the way, and along with that resolution, Lincoln Sphere about to be completed. Gonna give them an answer for the Doom potentially. They have Repel, Lincoln Sphere now. Gets a lot harder to get those good Dooms off in the upcoming fights.
This is feeling like yesterday's Game 3 of the Hellraisers taking on Empire, where they just kind of went objective from objective. They won every team fight they came across, and it was just perfectly executed and nice flawless play. Empire, from top to bottom, they've been performing so well this game. They've had Dendi in check, taking him down every single time, and then they'll be able to, have plenty of room for Silent to farm up. Now he's clearly reaping in the benefits. He gets so much done, doesn't even need to use the Aegis whatsoever, and this is going to be a struggle for Na'Vi to try to bounce back. Backs are against the wall. They're falling actually back on their asses at this point. It's rough. Real rough.
Yeah, their tailbones are definitely sore after all the knockdowns they've taken, and Silent is going to look for a move now. He's on his own, though. 4 heroes grouped up bottom for Empire. They've been playing this 4+1 kind of arrangement most of the game, and it'll work out here. They take the tower bottom. Silent going to show himself mid. Now we'll go back for his BKB. We're looking at a Storm Spirit with a 25-minute BKB, almost complete, Bloodstone, as well as an Orchid, and almost, in fact, is level 16. Incredible start from him.
Resolution diving in, does get the crit onto Funnick here, but not able to do much more significant damage. There's the jump in from Silent. Now trying to finish off the Funnick, and a beautiful Ravage setup right there.
Easy Ravage.
Just looking to clear house right now and just go right for game number 3. Guardian Angel's going to allow them to really go out of control at this point. Kill after kill. Funnick forced to pull out the buyback. Does get that Doom off onto Silent, but the damage has already been done. It's a dieback for him, and I think Na'Vi are going to have to consider throwing in the towel, and there it is from Captain Goblak. They've had enough. Empire, this is how they're supposed to play the game, and they take it to game number 3.
For me, story of this game, the always want to fly Rubik. More than anything, that was what made things happen around the map. They get the early kill of Vost, he rotates bottom, gets a lucky haster in for 1 kill, sets another up, just walking through the hard way, and they just play better when they've got strong roaming supports. Even if they don't get kills, the pressure they put out and the way it forces Na'Vi to play more defensively, to park supports behind the mid, it just changes the game. And I think Dendi needed more protection bottom. Part of it is that they're running the Doom in the jungle, right? So he's not threatening the off lane at all. So as a result, Empire are free to move off of that lane, which means Dendi has more to deal with. It all kind of fell apart from there. So going into the next game, Na'Vi have to be ready for the early roaming aggression from Empire, whether that means picking more survivable heroes in the lane, whether it means just picking tankier heroes, heroes that want to take fights early, or just trying to ban out some of these supports or pick equally strong roamy ones up for themselves. But you got to take Empire out of their comfort zone, or they're going to continue to just take over the game from minute 1.